我特别激动，我都一直不停的哭，我眼泪都停不下来。我就看着他明白。
Kobe has come to China every year since 2006, hosting camps like this one in Shanghai. He played on the gold medal U.S. team in the 2008 Beijing Olympics, and he's even learned some Mandarin along the way.
Hey, this is Erico and I am back again on your screens. This video will be filmed in front of an open window, so we're just gonna hope that no disturbances happen outside. But knowing my luck, you might hear a car go by or like some type of bump in the night. But yeah, be sure to subscribe, like this video. If you want to see me or encourage me talk about different topics pertaining to East Asian pop culture as well as other current events. So Kobe Bryant and his relation to China, I'm gonna tell you right now, I did not know that this man was so popular with people in China. But mind you, I think I said in another video, I don't really watch a whole lot of sports too much, even though, of course, I know Kobe Bryant. Of course, I know Shaq. Of course, I know, like, most of the popular basketball players that are just big during my time and even after, like, my time. Just timeless talent. So this man is considered like a basketball god in China, even more so than their own players that came out of their own country. This man set a spark in the Chinese public, and it had to do with the Olympics and the import of basketball and how it was introduced to the Chinese public, and it was like stars were in their eyes when they saw Kobe Bryant and his work ethic and how he had such a drive, his Mamba mentality to be better than he is, better than he was, better than the bar that he set for himself. It inspired so many people, not even just Chinese people, but just people all around the world. And so this man just became a beacon of hard work and effort, and so many young people, even to this day, his Weibo account has millions of followers still. When the news hit that he had passed away, it was just so sudden, and I remember so many people around the world just being in shock because, you know, people that feel like they're just immortal, and then reality sets in and you realize this is life and no one's here forever. So when he passed, it was so sad to look back on his Chinese social media account and see that he was wishing his Chinese fans Happy New Year, basically. And to find out, like, digging into his past and his relations with China, how he was having multiple basketball camps. For many young aspiring basketball players out there, and how he actually got on the court and played with some of these players that were training to be the best that they could be, and just how humbling the overall experience and his personality was, And when you ask a lot of Chinese people why they like Kobe Bryant, they say that at first it was his strong work ethic. And then it went from that to being he constantly comes back to China, constantly is mingling in the culture. And he was so interested in learning the roots of the Chinese culture, as well as even learning a little bit of the language. And a lot of people saw that and saw that he was really trying to make an effort. I remember when he was doing a speech and he was speaking Italian. And I was just like, you know, I'm like, that's crazy. Like, that's crazy that we have someone that is actually like dedicated not only to his craft but to connecting to many different people in whatever way that he can. So then we go to like the spoilers of Kobe Bryant's memory, and it has to do with a product that was introduced on Chinese social media. I don't know what this wine company thought this was or what this was going to be, but they decided they were going to make a Kobe wine. It was going to charge people for it. They had the whole promotional video planned out. They had this man's jersey numbers on it, the design, the Mambo symbol, the Mamba symbol. Mambo. That's like the bootleg version, Chinese version Mambo. And they were promoting it, thinking they were going to capitalize off of this man's memory. And people on Chinese social media were not for it at all. They were like, did you all consult Kobe Bryant's family? I'm gonna be honest, when I looked at it, I thought bootleg. when I saw the pictures, I thought bootleg, Chinese bootleg. I'm just like, you all did not consult his family because they would never approve it. I'm like, that gaudy looking bottle of wine, there's no way that they knew anything about this. And then they tried to be slick and use the translation of Kobe in Chinese. You know, they thought they had it all planned out. And then when the media and everybody started questioning this company, they were like, oh no, we went through the legal procedures. We have lawyers and everything, and they said it was okay. But then people started digging and they found that that was a lie. That none of the design was approved. And oh Lord, I hope to God that Kobe Bryant's family never has to see that gaudy looking bottle of wine, because it's like, let Chinese people just enjoy the golden memory of Kobe Bryant. Don't soil it. Don't try to capitalize off of it. Let people just remember him as he was and all that he has done and how they looked up to him. People were crying for this man.
已经高中毕业了，然后也没有钱，刚参加工作，2000块钱一个月，然后买了一张2013年 NBA 中国赛红人对勇士的比赛，然后买完这个门票之后，花500块钱买一张看他的票，然后买完这个门票之后，也没什么钱了，也没发工资当时。然后买了一张卧铺，坐了10个小时的火车去了北京，只是为了看他一眼。可能去过那个5棵松体育馆的人会知道，它很大很大一个球馆。然后我坐在那个看台上面，这场比赛用望远镜才能看到他的后脑勺。但是在他出来的那一瞬间，眼泪瞬间就掉下来了，因为那个人我曾经都是通过电视屏幕看到他的。
And this even before he left this earth. He was very much alive. People were crying, seeing him. He has such a touching impact emotionally on people. And like I said, I was just mind blown how there were people in China that were going through and talking about their stories and how he inspired them and the crying. And I'm just like, for basketball to reach so far across the world and for these people to be more invested in this black man who has no real connection to them at all outside of being entertainment. So much so that they were even doing cosplay blackface. We're not going to go into how problematic this is. But, you know, I see the innocence behind it. But even though I can see the innocence behind it, it's still problematic. I mean, this person looked like a dirtied up mine worker that just put dirt all over. Let me not. I said I wasn't going to go into this, but the worship of Kobe Bryant is real. I don't know how people on the outside looking in and don't know the context of this would feel about this, but the love of this man, advertisements, them seeing him as a king and rolling out the carpet for him as he comes through and crowding around him and just enjoying him. And even with like Yao Ming and the other Chinese players that have come to the NBA, standing next to Kobe Bryant, but still Kobe kind of shining brighter and just being loved. I remember, I didn't watch basketball, but I did witness basketball through like my family, my father, and just seeing this man glide across the court to the basket. Like, even though I was not interested, he always caught my eye. And even seeing Shaquille O'Neal just being big and being on the court, he was like a tree. I used to always say, like, he just big. And I know somebody will be like, no, he wasn't just big. He was a good player. I'm like, no, he big. Like, he don't have to do much. Just kind of stand there and just be like,
I'm about the ball. Hit.
But yeah, just lovely golden memories of this man and just the utmost respect to him and what he has done. And I hope that his memory continues to inspire and that we remember him as the great man that he was, and that China continues to, you know, love him and pay tribute to him and goes through the right means of actually getting items out to Chinese people and like talking to his family. I mean, if they want to do wine, if they want to do whatever else, jerseys, whatever, go through the family, make it right. Don't try to do something that's like bootleg behind their back, because you're ruining and messing up and tarnishing this man's memory. So before I leave, I also want to talk about China's influence in the form of halftime shows, and it has to do with this woman. Her name is Red Panda. I did not know anything about her either. I think I might have come across her, glanced, and kind of kept on going, but she's been around almost as long as Kobe, and she's been doing halftime shows for years. She goes out there, she is on this big thing where she's riding it, and she just balances herself with plates. And it is so cute. But then so like fueling too. Like, I could see how you could watch her and just be revved up to go out and dunk a couple baskets. Because this woman, you can tell, has trained so hard. She comes from this background taught by her father, and she made her way to America. And many people know her. They say that she needs to be inducted into the Hall of Fame. She is considered a part of the NBA now. Many people watch her and they're just astonished just of how she can take plates. If you see like the bottom of some of the plates or the bowls, you can see that there's tape at the bottom. I think that kind of helps her a little bit with, you know, stacking them up and her taking the weight of her foot and pushing it up and it flying onto her head. I just think it's interesting. To be honest with you, I don't know if I would be interested very long, but I think that the effort and the determination that she puts into her performance is to be admired and to be applauded. And it's amazing that she's been doing this so long and she hasn't really had any injuries except for like one injury. And that she keeps being called back during halftime and people are into it and they love it. And to just see her, you know, prosper through her father's death and continuing to just dazzle many people that come to watch these basketball games. So, how do you guys feel about all of this that I've talked about in a nutshell? Put below your thoughts. Follow my social media, mostly my Instagram. Also the blog Nice Asian Pop Culture. The link is always down in the description box below. And remember, be real, stay real, live in the real, and I will always be back. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video.